Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops.
But I've mastered their styles like the 5 deadly venoms. So all he had to do was get next to a nigga like that, he could destroy him.
Believe in that, for real. We plan to take the same strategy we use with Death Row West, mind over matter, taking all our weaknesses and making it into our strength. That all these people talk about an East Coast, West Coast war, they like the Judas was to Jesus. They only here to cause confusion. We here to bring money and to bring change. They here to cause confusion. All these weak rappers, Nas, all these suckers, they battling off of East and West like this is a game. This ain't no game. If this was chess, we'd be yelling checkmate 3 years ago because we've been beat these. It's not a game.
The only way for me to come back is as EGOVELI. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, West Side Notification Gang, hit that bell icon. Thank you to the super chats, the donations, and the Patreon patrons. We working. Now I come, still I rise. Outlaw. I come to you as EGOVELI, and I had to come as EGOVELI to talk about this interview on Fox's Undisputed. Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless, they had Floyd Sr., and it was a mess. Only EGOVELI could deliver this to you. And I want to talk about some highlights in case you want to watch it. It's linked in the description, so you can click on the link to watch the YouTube video. It's only 10 minutes, but for me, it was real hard to get through because at the end of the day, I'm not saying I know the most about boxing, but I feel I value the sport. This is my favorite sport. I cover the sport, and to sit through it and hear the guys, not Floyd Sr. because he knows his shit, but to hear the other guys, it was cringeworthy, painful to watch because you hear so many falsehoods and things that are being said that aren't true and just laughable. And I told y'all in January, tell the truth, right? This was not going to be a good year from this, and I'm seeing it. People like Skip Bayless, they continue to look dumb. We're going to get into it. But the people who have the same kind of outlook in boxing and clearly don't know they're getting X'd out. I'm telling you. Go look at their viewership. Go look at their channels. Go look at their articles. Go look at their Facebook groups. All that dumb shit is over. I told you all that bullshit. EGOVELI was going to come, establish a new government, and the other stuff is done for. You can no longer just be talking out your ass and saying crazy stuff when it comes to boxing. No facts-based anything, and we're seeing it. And like I said, the proof is in the pudding. Look at the representation for that side, the side that says the exact opposite of what I say in every fucking video. You know what I mean? I say this, oh, Floyd's the biggest bitch, oh, this and that. Just look at it. Look at how they're doing. Look at how they look in interviews and stuff. It's just no mercy, man. We mashing. So I don't even know. I had to take notes. That's how bad it was. Skip Bayless said by far the dumbest stuff on the whole telecast. Floyd Sr. was absolutely destroying and schooling him with boxing sweet science knowledge. For example, Skip Bayless, he's raving about how Conor's so good, and this is all good for ratings, you know what I mean? But me personally, I'm telling you, me personally, I could do jokes and gags and characters and voices and stuff. I don't mind doing that because that's an extension of me. I've always been into movies and stuff like that. But what I can't do is just for ratings say some crazy shit that makes me look like Kelly Bundy or some shit where I just look like a buffoon and just be good with that. You know what I mean? Skip Bayless, Crypt Keeper looking self looks stupid saying half the stuff he's saying, and it's crazy. I can't do that. I can't, you know what I mean, come on national TV and look like an idiot. And Fox is cool with this, you know what I mean? Imagine that. He's saying the most radical things and Fox is just, they're great with it, you know what I mean? But anyway, Skip Bayless says he's raving about how good Conor is, even though we know Conor's the underdog here. He's the one who's not necessarily a boxer. Skip Bayless says Conor is quick-handed and he can play defense too. First of all, who plays defense? That just sounds stupid. You don't play defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that vernacular, that terminology that sounds retarded to me. Like, yo, he can play defense too. First of all, I don't recall from the UFC is a little bit different because there's different ways to get your guy out of there. You know what I mean? Submission, rear naked chokes, or whatever. You can knock someone out, things like that. But I don't remember any kind of remarkable defense. You could say he's like cool little feints and kind of have some good movements, things like that, but it's totally different. And your defense, like I said, defense in UFC versus defense in boxing, two totally different things, because a lot of the guys in the UFC, their forte might not be striking. Conor is a striker, make no mistake about it, he is a striker, but not everyone's a striker. Not everyone's as good of a striker in the UFC as he is. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a wrestler, you might not be able to get out of the way of his shots like Eddie Alvarez or something. You know what I mean? Because you yourself aren't that good when it comes to boxing and your stand-up game. You know what I mean? Some people are good. Amanda Nunes, good striker. Ronda Rousey, poor striker. Judo is her forte. You know what I mean? She doesn't have no head movement. She doesn't know how to move around the octagon safely. So that sounded dumb to me. Skip Bayless says he can play defense. Next, he had the audacity to say Canelo Alvarez is slow-footed and slow hands. So I agree with the slow feet. Everybody knows Canelo doesn't have the fastest feet. That's why guys with foot movement, lateral movement, guys who did that in spots like Floyd Mayweather or Edeslandi Lara, who was even more evasive, give Canelo problems because he can't catch up, kind of like Danny Garcia. Makes it hard for him. It's a different puzzle. But to say Canelo has slow hands, it shows me right then and there you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Canelo has deceptively fast hands. In fact, one of the things why I'm picking Canelo over Golovkin is because Kell Brook was able to touch Golovkin, and I think Kell Brook has solid speed, but I think Canelo has underrated speed. He has really fast hands. You know what I'm saying? If you look how he can get off punches and from what angles and stuff like that. So Skip Bayless clearly doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about to say Canelo has slow hands. Slow feet, I'll give you that. But slow hands? It didn't look slow when he was teeing off on James Kirkland with 3 to 5 punch combinations on the ropes. You know what I mean? While he had him on the ropes. And the other thing, I like Floyd Sr. did real good. You know what I mean? A lot of people talk about, oh, he talks too slow, or he did this, he stuttered. But he wasn't the one looking like a fool on this telecast. But he rebutted it good. He's like, man, Conor McGregor will get knocked out cold by Canelo Alvarez. And then Skip Bayless was like, oh, well, at least Canelo has the power to do it. He maybe. And he's like, so my son beat the guy who we're kind of agreeing could beat Conor McGregor, could knock him out. So my son beat the guy that would beat the guy. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all got to get some new soldiers. If you want to go to war, you got to get some new soldiers, because your representation is making y'all look bad. All that dumb shit. Like, and then Skip Bayless is going on and on and on about how Floyd Mayweather has no punching power and just the traditional stuff that you hear. He says, Skip Bayless says, oh, so is Floyd gonna just duck and run and flick and run and jab and run? See, they try to create this mindset, and like what happens, and this has happened even back in the segregated times and stuff. When fighters were good, they always had an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person's evasive, oh, he's a chicken, he's a coward, yellow belly. You know what I mean? They want to create this image that forces a smart fighter to fight a dumb fight. Because Conor McGregor, they know his best chance is his size, his youth, his strength. So if Floyd Mayweather is doing just standard boxing movement and stuff, they're going to call it running, because they want to give Conor McGregor the best possible chance to catch Floyd. They know Floyd's crafty and elusive and stealthy. So the best chance for a guy like Conor McGregor is if he connects clean. But if he can't, if he's in there with the jackrabbit or whatever, then it is what it is. But the funny thing is, the people like Skip Bayless is always one-sided. You see Lomachenko, no one's calling him boring. I agree he's probably a bit more offensive than Money Mayweather is now, or like a Rigondeaux. But styles make fights, and as he gets older, that's probably going to be harder to pull off. So you'll see his offense, especially as he moves up in weight. You know what I mean? If he moves up, people try to compare these situations, and you can't compare Lomachenko, who moved up like what, 1 division, to Floyd, who moved up 5, Pacquiao, who moved up 8, because they're fighting naturally bigger guys. So if Lomachenko, tell him to just jump up 5 divisions, I guarantee you he's gonna have to change certain things with his fight game. Otherwise, he'll probably get stretched. And he's a great fighter, and I'm not wishing that upon him. That's just a fact. You have to evolve when you fight bigger guys. Look at Robert Guerrero. He, in the lighter divisions, when he was at featherweight and all that, he was actually boxing more. But between him and his dad, I am what I am, and you guys like this guy? Woman beater, baby, and all this machismo stuff. Robert Guerrero started fighting dumb. You can't fight Keith Thurman like you're fighting Vicente Escobedo, because you were probably naturally bigger than Escobedo. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman's naturally bigger. He didn't start in them little 120-pound divisions. You know what I'm saying? And he has power at 147. He has power even at higher than 150. He fought Carlos Quintana at a catchweight over 150 and knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? So you can't fight the same way. And that's what's funny about it, because people all that, oh, run, flick, jab. I'm telling you. But Lomachenko, it's like telling him to, part of his style, what makes him effective, even though he's offensive, is that his movement. He jumps in when he wants, jumps out untouched, good upper body movement, and he's just like a jackrabbit. He's everywhere. You know what I mean? Giving you angles and sidestepping you and stuff like that. That's like telling him, hey, fight like Broner, fight flat-footed, fight this way, fight like James Kirkland. No, why would he do that when it's working? Stupid. It's just like a video game. You know what I mean? For people who video game junkies and stuff. We play a Street Fighter. If I'm doing a move and a combination that the person can't figure out and Guile's just kicking their ass, then I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it until the round's over. So they try to create this narrative of run, duck, jab, because they know Floyd at his best, if he is moving about, is going to be much harder for Conor McGregor. Now, one of the most hilarious parts of this was when Floyd absolutely destroyed, like I said, y'all got to get some new representative. He destroyed Skip Bayless. He says, what's the game plan or something? And then Floyd's like, oh, we're going to do whatever it takes. We're going to capture that W. We're going to do this and that. We're going to jab. We're going to use movement. We're going to pull counter. And then something clicked. And he's like, you know what? You say you know boxing? What's a pull counter? Floyd Sr. asked him that. Asked Skip Bayless that. Tell me what a pull counter is. Do you know this dude, Skip Bayless, says, what? Oh, a what? And play, you know, when people heard it, but they try to act because they're stumped, so they try to act like they didn't hear what you said. That's what Skip Bayless did. He was like, what? A what? And he's like, no, you say you know boxing? Tell me what's a pull counter. Explain it. And he's like, I'm not sure. He was flabbergasted. He's like, I'm not sure. I've never heard that term before. You've never heard of a pull counter? That's one of Floyd's sweetest moves. Floyd didn't invent the pull counter, but that's something he's known for. So to me, the pull counter, if you don't know what that is, never even heard of it, then you really don't know shit about boxing, because especially if you're critiquing Floyd, all of his fights since he beat Oscar De La Hoya are big events. You know what I mean? He's been the money man in boxing and stuff like that. And this is something he's done like in majority of his fights, especially like Juan Manuel Marquez. That was one of the prime examples of it. And then Skip Bayless, because he was looking dumb, he said, no, this might be what you say. This is your term. And Floyd Sr. was like, no, this ain't my term. I didn't create this. I didn't invent. This is a standard boxing. So Skip Bayless, they got him on a nationally syndicated TV show talking boxing, and he doesn't even know what a pull counter is. That's suspect to me. And you just lose all credibility right then and there. Like, I can understand if someone said, oh, who's Jake LaMotta's 22nd opponent? You know what I'm saying? Not everyone's gonna know something like that off top, but pull counter, that's like not knowing, or even, oh, what's a Philly shell? What's a shoulder roll? I never heard of that. What is that? That just must be your term. If you don't know something as basic as that, then you don't know shit about boxing. A pull counter is not specific to the Mayweathers. You know what I'm saying? Neither is the shoulder roll. They might have perfected it or been really good at it, but that's just basic boxing 101. So once again, yet and still, Skip Bayless looks crazy, and then he tried to clean it up. Oh, this must be your term. No. This is just a regular boxing term. Then Skip goes on to say that Floyd has never faced anyone with Conor's punching power, just more casual shit. And you got to look at this. I know my boxing. I don't care what the fuck nobody's talking about. But the thing is, Floyd, like I just said earlier, he moved up 5 divisions. So everyone he faces that is known for a big punch is a big puncher. So what I mean by that is when you naturally started much smaller than a lot of your opponents, like Canelo or Shane Mosley was tearing guys up at lightweight, Floyd didn't start at lightweight. You know what I'm saying? So all these guys, Cotto, the De La Hoyas, the Canelos, probably Ricky Hatton, he would balloon up in his offseason. All these guys with power are huge threats. Victor Ortiz, a massive welterweight at the time. Big welterweight, strong southpaw. All these guys are punchers, especially when you started off so low and you had to move up. Because, like I said, Kovalev, let's say he moves up to cruiserweight and deals with the best punchers there. That would be a challenge because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got stopped by Andre Ward at light heavyweight. So, you know what I mean? Them cruiserweights can definitely hurt you. So as you move up in weight, it's a process. And to me, that just obliterates what Skip Bayless is saying. He's never faced anyone with Conor's power. There's tons of guys he faced. Like, I mean, I don't, honestly, it's impossible to prove, but I can't even say Conor has more power than Canelo. You know what I mean? De La Hoya. Like, I don't know in boxing, because what those guys do, De La Hoya is a fucking gold medalist. Canelo has been scrapping since he was 15, and they employ the proper boxing technique when throwing punches. Some UFC fighters, their technique of striking ain't the same. They don't look as fluid. In boxing, you only have your 2 hands as the weapons. You can use your feet as a weapon per se to navigate and get in position and to, you know what I mean, evade shots, but it's not the same as you can kick someone in the head and all this like the UFC. So all these dudes do, like Canelo, all he's doing, he's destroying people not with kicks, he's destroying them with pure punches and brains and stuff like that. But his only weapon to take him out is his hands. You know what I'm saying? So technique means a lot. Then there's another embarrassing moment. See why EGOVELI has to talk about this? After the punching power comment, Floyd was saying something like Floyd faced a lot of punchers. De La Hoya, Canelo, and what's that guy? The tall guy died in a motorcycle accident. Immediately I knew who he was talking about. He's talking about Chico, Diego Corrales. And between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, neither one of them knew who the fuck he was talking about. So, just like Hangman or one of them games, Floyd said, my son fought the puncher, the tall guy, you know, the tall guy, he died in a motorcycle accident. Off top, as real boxing fans would probably know that, because like I said, Floyd's whole career has been under the microscope. People watched him for years, since the Olympics. So I knew immediately he was talking about Diego Corrales. Tall. They said he was about almost 6 feet tall, and he was supposed to kill Floyd. They were like, oh, Floyd shouldn't have took this, it's too premature. He was knocking everybody out, so people were scared for Floyd in that fight. So I knew exactly what he was talking about. Skip Bayless dumbass said Zab Judah. So when did Zab Judah die in a motorcycle accident? You know what I'm saying? I just seen Zab Judah in Vegas a couple months back. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You see how dumb they sound? So the clue is, what's the guy that died in a motorcycle that was tall? So first of all, Zab Judah and Floyd are about the same height, if anything. You know what I mean? It's not like Zab Judah is known for being way taller than Floyd. So off of those 2 clues, died in a motorcycle and he was tall, you have to know that he's not Zab Judah, because, I don't know, Zab Judah's posting on Instagram and he's not dead. You know what I mean? And then Shannon Sharpe said Vernon Forrest, which that was a bad look too, because Vernon Forrest, rest in peace, he did pass, but he got killed. You see, this, like, it's embarrassing. Vernon Forrest got shot and killed, I think, at a gas station. You know what I mean? And they're just throwing out names. And besides that, Floyd never fucking fought Vernon Forrest. He had punching power though, so they got that right. But Vernon and Floyd never fought. He fought Mosley. He fought Ricardo Mayorga. You know what I mean? So it's actually shameful. Like, don't even talk about this sport if you don't know what you're talking about. I thought they had people that like write little factoids on the piece of paper or something, so they can at least like study up or whatever. But that's, or people in their mic that can, oh no, it's Diego Corrales. But apparently they were just freestyling it, throwing out random Zab Judah, Vernon Forrest. You know what I mean? Wilfredo Gomez. Like, when did Floyd fight Wilfredo Gomez? Yeah, and then Skip just kept going on, raving about Conor is crazy. Your son can't hurt him. Conor's crazy in a good way. So he said he told Floyd to tell him the game plan, and he's like, I'm not no fool. Why would I tell you the game plan on national TV? And he's like, yeah, your son's so good, just tell him. That sounds like something a casual would say. Why would you reveal someone the game plan so they can at least try to prepare for that? Just like the Trojan. See, you guys have to understand war and the war strategies and stuff. Just like back in the day when they had the Trojan horse and they thought it was a gift. They couldn't get into the fortress and they couldn't get past the guarded walls. So they had this huge Trojan, and they're like, oh, this is a nice gift. Open the door. They opened it up, and it was full of warriors and soldiers who came out and launched their attack. But had they say, hey, we got motherfuckers in the Trojan horse, let us in, you think they would have got in? It's stupid. Why would you tell someone your game plan? More casual shit. Tell us the game plan if he's that good. That's stupid. And Floyd Sr. said, so he was schooling him, but he said a couple other funny things. He was calling Conor McGregor. He keeps calling him Conor McGregory. I thought that was funny. And then they were talking about how they got into it, Conor and Floyd Sr. And he said, I offered to fight him right then and there today. He said, I'll beat him like he stole something. So Floyd's funny, but he was wrecking him. Shannon Sharpe wasn't bad, minus the Vernon Forrest comment. He kind of just let Floyd and Skip Bayless, and that's actually more respectable. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, don't put yourself on the chopping block to look crazy. Yeah, just Skip Bayless was just acting like a Conor McGregor. I like Conor McGregor too, FYI, if you've heard my past videos, but there comes a point where you have to be realistic, and he's just sounding like a Conor McGregor apologist. He was like, hey, but Conor's just a crazy guy that he's invincible, you can't hurt him, and he was cashing welfare checks just 4 years ago, and he had to crawl and scratch his way up. He was scratching and clawing his way up, and then Floyd Sr. is like, man, he's still scratching and clawing his way up. So I thought that was another funny part. But overall, very embarrassing for my sport, the sport of boxing, that you have a popular show on Fox, and they can't even really talk educated about boxing. But like I said, we don't fret. Real recognizes real. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear nothing with Donald Trump and Skip Bayless, people like that, just saying whatever they want. I'm not trying to hear nothing. You know what I mean? People talking about, oh, Ego, you're biased and this. I'm not hearing it. If they could say all this radical stuff and Canelo has slow hands, what? Then I'm definitely freedom of speech. I'm definitely saying my piece, because I know this sport, and I owe it to the sport a lot of things. You know what I mean? This sport has helped me during crazy times for me. You know what I mean? And just to see a national show like this is just embarrassing for the culture. To like, really? This is the host? And like I said, most people, like, if you like Jimmy Fallon, respect to Jimmy Fallon, he has a talk show, and he had the guy who played the Demetrius Shipp Jr. dude who played Tupac in the new movie, and he was like, yeah, everyone knows Tupac's popular songs, but I don't know everything about Tupac, so tell me some more. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, let's say you know Tupac, but you're not deep into, you can't go through the crates and be like, oh, remember that song with Richie Rich, and you don't really know what you're talking about. Like me, like, people are gonna pull your card. Like me, I'm a diehard Tupac fan. I love Tupac, EGOVELI, you know what I mean? My favorite rapper. So if Jimmy Fallon was just getting on here like bullshitting, we would know. But when he had the guy who was playing Tupac, he was like, tell me more about him. He's like, yeah, I know Tupac's major stuff and they keep your head up, but tell me more. You know what I mean? But Skip Bayless, these dudes are like zombies or like suicide bombers. They're just willing to explode and just blow up. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't care. They don't care how dumb they look saying this stuff. And then, like I said, August 26th, if Conor does get stopped, or if he loses badly, like Arturo Gatti fashion, or if he gets stopped or something like that, then Skip Bayless is going to come with more bullshit like he does with LeBron James. It's crazy. Like I said, I dig ratings, and you don't want everyone always agreeing, but the fact that Fox has someone like this is crazy. And like I said, this makes Floyd kind of ingenious for even fighting Conor McGregor, because you got people like Brendan Schaub and you got people like Skip Bayless who are really pulling and saying Conor McGregor's invincible and Floyd's never fought a puncher like him and he won't be able to hurt him, things like that. Okay, so I'm not trying to hear any. It sounds like a fair fight according to Brendan Schaub and Skip Bayless, so there can't be no excuses. If Conor wins fair and square, then I'll give it to him. I'll be like, damn, Conor did it. If Floyd beats his ass, then I'll be like, damn, it is what it is. So let me know what you guys think. That is my breakdown. A lot of you reached out and wanted me to talk about it. Let me know your thoughts. Link in the description. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, with Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.